Hi everybody, Leanne here. I'm just doing a few sound checks before I kick off the video. Hi Jenny, it's great to see a bunch of people are just logging in. So I'm just going to set the scene before I kick off the presentation. Hey Mercy. Hi Kylie. Now, before I start, I am going to get very excited in this presentation. I make no apologies for that. It was a fantastic conference, but there is a lot of change coming our way. We will see it play out in the States. Hey, Donna, and hi, Kim. We'll see it play out in the States before it hits us. We are a little bit behind, and some things that take off in the States don't always pan out in the Australian market. For example, they're still all into Twitter over there. And Twitter in Australia, I don't feel is really that big for business, but it's a thing, and it never wasn't a thing in America. So I'm going to start the presentation in about 1 second, kick off the slides. I'm expecting that I will be talking very excitedly for about 45 minutes because I'm hoping that there will be at least 10 minutes, 15 minutes for questions at the end. And of course, offline, if you want to ask me any questions, I'm here to answer any of those questions. So without further ado, I'm going to dive in because I know that I've got a lot to say. I'm going to get excited and hopefully everything goes to plan. All right then, so I'm just going to kick off these slides. If at any time you can't see or hear me, please let me know. Okay, fantastic. Hey, Brooke, I'm glad you're here. All right, then, let's dive in. So, what's working and what's next for social media? These are some insights from Social Media Marketing World 2018. So, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Leanne O'Sullivan. I am a digital strategist, founder of Big Blue Digital. I've been in this space for 18 years, and I'm now also the creator and founder of Summit School with Leanne O, which is a digital marketing education service, and I also provide one-on-one coaching to my clients. Today's webinar, I am so excited, as you will tell, to bring you some of the key insights from Social Media Marketing World 2018. Now, this event has been going for about 6 years now. It's been on my bucket list to attend for a long time, and it was so awesome. I've already bought my ticket for next year. That's how fantastic it was. Everyone who is anyone in social media either presents at this event, has presented at this event, wants to present at this event, or attends this event. So there were about 5,000 people at this conference. So if you can imagine 5,000 people, kind of like me, at this event. But it wasn't just digital marketers. There was also a huge amount of business owners, small business owners who were there, people that were marketers within corporate spaces, government places, you know, large enterprises. So it was the full gamut, if you like, of digital marketers with a specialization in social media, obviously. So social media, there was a lot of talking, there was a lot of networking, there was a lot of, let's just say that there was a lot of margarita drinking as well. G'day, Tim. Hi, Nikki. Hi, Tracy. G'day, Dina. So the presenters who are at this event are some of the world's leading experts in the areas of Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, although a very small session on Snapchat. If you're a Snapchat fan, I don't know how much longer you're going to hang around unless they somehow reinvent themselves. But there were people there from the podcasting world, blogging, YouTube, videos, so much more. So if you are in the industry, and if you think about your own industry, and if you think about the people that you admire, that you look up to, that you followed in your space for the last 10 years, and then you land at a conference and you're standing next to them having coffee, or you're listening to them speak, and then you're sitting with them at a table, that's kind of what it was like. Mind-blowing in terms of access to the real thinkers in our industry, access to high-level practitioners. So the things I'm going to share here are from people that aren't just talking heads. They are still close to their market. They are still close to what's actually working and not just, you know, theorizing about things. There are some big name futurists that spoke at the event, Mark Schaefer, Brian Solis, Guy Kawasaki. That was so amazing. You know, there were some big name thinkers there, but there were also a lot of actual practitioners that are working closely with real businesses, and that's why this event was so, so powerful. So let's dive into what I'm actually going to cover here. There's so many areas to cover. I'm really sorry that I'm not covering much about Instagram inside here, other than this one little tip. Stories. In fact, stories inside Instagram and stories inside Facebook. It was slow to come to Facebook, but it's coming. Stories inside Instagram is what has killed Snapchat. So if you're not doing stories inside Instagram, I've got some help that I can send you after this session, some advice to help you start moving into there. And I will kind of mention it later in the presentation. But in this presentation, I am talking about messenger marketing. I will be talking about Facebook advertising, plus more generally around the Facebook world in light of the Facebook algorithm apocalypse. I'll be looking at LinkedIn. Yes, LinkedIn, it's back, people. And the reason it's back is because we'll be speaking specifically about native video and engagement. I'll be talking more broadly about live video and video in general. And then I'll be ending up with how to be human at scale. Move over B2B, move over B2C. We are talking about person to person. This is the future of social media. And I'll come to that in future slides. All right then. Messenger marketing. There were two big overarching themes at Social Media Marketing World. One of them was messenger marketing. The other was talking about the humanness of social media. And it's kind of a real juxtaposition because we're talking about something that seems to be all automated and AI and freaky and Big Brother and robotic-like, but isn't, with the human element. And that's what was the revelation for most of the digital marketers there in relation to messenger marketing. Chatbots themselves are not new. You may have started to see them yourself on your phone. If you follow the ABC, they've got a great little bot. Qantas has a great little bot. Some of the larger American-based e-commerce stores are doing it well, but chatbots are not new. But I think how we've been thinking about them and thinking about how we might implement them has been all wrong. I know in my case, this was the revelation because I was like highly skeptical of chatbots. That's just going to piss people off. They're not going to work. You know, how can you be a human when you're giving these answers to questions automatically? And the reason I was thinking about it all wrong is that I was trying to be too smart about it. And the solution to the issue is don't try to be too automated in what we're doing. We need to think of messenger marketing as conversation marketing. So I don't want you to think about chatbots per se. That's the little tool. We're all about messenger marketing or conversation marketing because all sales, it doesn't matter what industry we're in, all sales start with a conversation. And this is where the power of messenger marketing comes into play. And it's so much easier than I think we were all thinking it needed to be. So if we come back to this conversation marketing idea, there's a phenomenon going on in social media right now where we are sick and over the public social networks because there's trolling, people feel judged, people think there's too much, flame wars happening online. There can be a lot of crap if you let it, if you're not actively seeking out, nice channels, blocking stupid people, doing all those kinds of things. It can be quite confronting for people. So there's been this shift from public social networks across to private social networks, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, WeChat. Snapchat was a private messaging thing before it started to become this broadcasting channel for the big brands. So This is something that Facebook and these other entities organise. And it's no coincidence with Facebook realising this, that they own the WhatsApp platform, because this is where people are moving with their phones from that public domain. They want to have private conversations with people. So when we think then about how we might work with conversation marketing, how our chatbot might be set up, we need to think more like how we might send a series of emails or have a casual conversation with someone who might be at our desk, in our office, in our place of business. Except it's faster than an email sequence, and it's more personal than our normal email welcoming sequences. AI per se, responses where we just we get a question from a customer and we automatically go through the database and we come up with the right answer, that is years away from most small businesses. So I don't want you to be thinking that that's what chatbots are about for you and for your business. In fact, that's not what chatbots are about for anybody's business. Yes, there's some customer service tools out there that help specifically with the FAQs. People ask this question and they get that answer. But think large-scale e-commerce platforms. Chatbots are amazing, and you should most definitely be looking into that. If you're the kind of business that has lots of people asking you similar questions, chatbots then can be a great way of automating that process. And then you have a step where I'd like to talk to a human now. I'd like to talk to a real person. But for us in the small business space, and for most organizations, we're not after that big AI high-tech approach. We are after the simple conversational approaches. We are after getting people to come into our bucket of little tools like our messenger marketing list, so that we can communicate with them on our phone with, hey, I've just got a new blog post, you might like to see this. Or instead of when people maybe sign up to get our free thing, or they get onto our newsletter list, rather than just emailing them a series of things, we might bring them into Messenger and we might talk about the same things inside Messenger. We get to the point faster, we start to build that more intimate connection with the person because they're on the phone. But we need to be careful that we don't just piss people off by doing it too much. Now, some of the tools that you may have heard about, ManyChat, ChatFuel, I've looked at them both. Personally, I actually dived into ManyChat about 8 months ago, and then I cancelled my account. I didn't get it. I thought it was too hard. I was doing it all wrong. I have re-established my ManyChat account, and I am now slowly experimenting with some of my welcoming email sequences and also some prompts on my website. Rather than getting people to come into my list, encouraging them to chat to me. And I've got an example of that shortly, as well as an example of how you might sequence someone through a series of messengers like a conversation, rather than sending them emails. So there's ManyChat and ChatFuel to look up and investigate. And I am here, or Big Blue Digital are here to help you with any of those questions. And then there's a couple more tools to look at. Chatty People, if you're a larger entity, and particularly if you are an e-commerce store, that's a platform to look at. And SQL. SQL is a more enterprise option with distinct templating sort of sequences that you can look at for your business. But I think right now we are at the very beginning of this messenger chatbot journey, and I think either of the two small platforms, ManyChat or ChatFuel, will serve you well, and you don't need to make it hard. And you shouldn't try to make it too automated. This has been the big issue. With any of these chat tools, you can have some growth things to encourage people to get on your list, like you might encourage people to get on your email list, little website pop-ups or slide-in things you can have. People can close them down. You can control all of this. People can close them down. They won't appear for another month. People can close them down, and you can set to say, well, I never want them to see that again. You can put them on select pages of your website. You can have slightly different messages that appear on differing pages of your website that encourage a conversation around the content that they're looking at. I've got two different ones on my website at the moment. One is, hey, too busy to, got some questions about digital marketing, but too busy for an email? Click here and start a conversation. I'm here on the other side. So I'm right there and I will talk to people, because as those of you who know me personally know that I have my phone with me a lot. So there's a bunch of things that we can do that are simple in relation to this. And I will be coming to Facebook ads later and how important they will be for us inside Facebook. But Facebook ads to Messenger will become more and more important for your business and will be a cheaper form of advertising as well if you're using Facebook ads. So they're just a couple of things to think about in the tool area for chats, chatbots. This is an example inside ManyChat. And this is, getting people to sign up to my list. And on this page, this is the things that I've just set up. So initially, a little thing will slide out from my website. It's a picture of me. It specifically says, you've got no time, but you'd like to ask a question. Then you can just click here. They can see that it's my Facebook persona. It's me. I am building a personal connection from the beginning with people. And they don't have to stay there. They can opt out at any time. But the beauty of Messenger for people, as we all become skilled in them, is that people can't just lift our Messenger Facebook profiles from anywhere. We always have to opt in. They can't just find our email address and grab us and put it on a list so that we get annoyed by it. We have to choose to come in. And then once you choose to opt out, it's the same process. You have to choose again to pop in. Now, this is an example of the email marketing or a welcoming sequence into someone into your business or the kinds of things you offer. You can see here that we might have a welcome, and if you have an email sequence, you might welcome people to your list. Here's my free thing. You might send another free thing and say, hey, come and read this content. You might see, I've got a question. Can you help me with this? And maybe you want to sell something. So this is a typical email sequence that you may have seen elsewhere. You can just replace all of this inside Messenger. Hi, thanks for signing up. I've got some content coming to you shortly. I won't try to send out too much stuff. And you can just send out a little message saying, here's my blog post, here's my this, here's my whatever. It's really important to think about how we might use these messaging tools, because this is a way that we can still reach people inside, say, Facebook, to get them to visit our website, because Facebook is no longer, and we need to stop thinking of Facebook as a content distribution channel. It is a place to build community, not a place to send people to our website. I just want you to think about that. We will come back to that distinct difference when I get more into Facebook. It's really important. Okay, so what are some caveats around messenger marketing and bots? We need to be human. We don't want it to seem really artificial and too officious or professional. Write how you speak, like you would in a text message to a person. Obviously thinking about the brand personality that you have, but think more like text messaging to your friends and your family and your business associates that you do now. That's the language that you need to have in your little bot sequences, not some crazy AI-driven responses. That is wrong. We want to create some automated steps and then bring in an opportunity to speak directly to a human. So you can automate some of it, but then you might want to bring in a human, which could be inside ManyChat, sending a little flag that someone gets an email to ring a person, someone gets an email that they might want to email someone, or, hey, dive into the Facebook chat now because I've got a person here that I need you, a human, a knowledgeable expert, to dive in. But again, don't overthink it. We are seeing massive open rates with messenger marketing. Current open rates are high. Think 88%, maybe even higher. Compare that to how many people open your emails now. Current conversion rates are also high. Think better than 56%. How many people buy your thing from your email list now? What are those conversion rates like? Obviously, these conversion rates right now and these open rates right now will not stay at these exceedingly high levels. But this is the opportunity right now for you to get in and start to experiment with your community and start learning what works and take advantage of this visibility and this people paying attention to you, talking to them inside Messenger. So we need to get people into our Messenger bucket so that we can start using Messenger as a tool for communication. Conversation. We want to be real with them. It is not about AI and being robotic. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about was Facebook ads and where to now for Facebook. For those of you that weren't paying attention at the end of January, at the beginning of February, there was a massive change in Facebook. Where to now for Facebook? They have changed their algorithm. Don't think for a second that this is a small thing. This is a major shift in what is going on inside Facebook. The apocalypse is here. So how do we survive? What do I mean by the apocalypse? What do I mean by the algorithm shift? I'm basically meaning that Facebook wants Facebook to be more enjoyable. We are bored. We are bored with all the stupid cat memes and all the clickbait and all the ridiculousness that's gone on there and the troll feeding frenzy. There has been a lot of heat brought to bear on Facebook from governments around the world, from psychologists looking at how we behave inside there, and from the way that they've structured the information. They want to save it. So it's a big shift what they've done, which is favouring meaningful content, favouring content, favouring communication, and favouring conversation with people that we know and that we like. Facebook wants us to stay on the platform longer. It is aware of people that are saying, I've just deleted the app. I know heaps of people that say, I never go to Facebook, I hate it. I never see my friends, I never do this, I never do that. They say all of that, but we're still there. They still have huge reach. I don't want you to think Facebook is not where your people are. They absolutely are there. But we as business owners cannot keep doing what we may have done in the past, because our customers are like this polar bear. They are yawning. They are bored. For us as business owners, it means if you haven't owned up to the fact that organic reach is dead, it is. I know that there may be some of you saying, oh, but I get great engagement. I don't need to do advertising. I'm getting lots of people like my posts. Big deal. I'm here to tell you that if you have grown a business from on the back of the free Facebook platform and never advertised, those days are completely gone. You need to be more active and smarter in what we do to build community inside Facebook. We need to stop thinking that Facebook is going to let us just share our content inside their platform and send people off the platform to our website. Facebook is about community building. It is not a content distribution platform anymore, if it ever was. Facebook is looking to bring the people into their environment, hence why Messenger marketing, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, Instagram, all part of the Facebook ecosystem are so important. So we're right to think about those platforms, but we are wrong to think we can just play in Facebook sandpit without paying for ads or, most importantly, engaging with our customers. We have to talk to our peeps. Engagement is critical. And what I mean by engagement is when we finally hit on the content that actually is encouraging conversation with people, we should respond with longer comments. It's no good just to say, thanks for that, great post, lol, thumbs up, put a little emoji in there. Facebook knows that's not relevant, meaningful interactions. They want meaningful interactions. So if you've been happy that people have just liked your post, maybe tag some of those people who have liked your post that you know and just say, what do you think about this? I can see that in your business. Try and start to get to know the people that are regularly interacting with you on your pages and talk to them. Don't just go like the person that you see down the street and you just, might just wave your hand or nod at them. Actually go over and have a conversation with them. Try and have longer conversations with people. Loop back to your page a couple of days after the event maybe you've had a live or something, and keep that conversation going. Don't ask for likes, or don't entice people to tag and share this post. I'm sorry. Remember back in the day when Facebook used to say, we don't want you to do posts like that, and everybody used to ignore it. And, I remember I would tell people Facebook's going to ban your page. Well, what's going to happen now is Facebook is just going to throttle you in the algorithm and no one will see your posts. So please don't ask for likes, entice people to like something, or say, hey, tag a friend who needs to read this. Facebook knows the language and they are going to be punishing you in the algorithm. Things are bad in the organic reach space, so don't make it harder for your business. You need to be talking to people in there. Okay, so what are some of the things we need to be mindful of then if we're going to be trying to build engagement, if we are wanting to build a community? This is a statement that Murray Smith made. You may have heard this before, but when the marketers move in, the members move out. A lot of the conversation over the 3 days of the conference was about how much social media marketers have ruined social media. And a lot of them have. There was a lot of presentations that I knew, let's just say, some of the digital natives, so those people that might be younger than myself, they don't remember what Facebook or what any social media channel was like in the olden days, but us older digital immigrants, we do. So we need to pull back in those memories and start being more actually social. Post less often, but have longer, more in-depth posts. Commit to a regular Facebook Live. Let your community start to know that you're going to go live every Thursday at lunchtime. Start thinking about utilizing Facebook stories, so the video snippets that you post on behalf of your page. Share content that is enjoyable to them. That doesn't mean cat videos. That means for us to think more deeply about the goals and values of our customers. Give of your opinion. Don't be a fence sitter. It doesn't matter what your business is. If you are in fashion and you are talking to your members and you know that the trend this year is for something ridiculous for your customers, have that opinion and say it, and then talk about the things that you would have instead. If you are in the finance industry, speak about some activity that's happening in the media. Speak about something that you can. I realise that in some industries that we have to be mindful from a legal standpoint of what we say, but try and be a person more inside your social channels. And the other thing that we need to have in the back of our mind, that watch is coming to Facebook in Australia. It's currently in the States. Think TV inside Facebook. They want us on that platform badly. Look out Netflix, look out Stan, look out YouTube. Facebook is coming for your viewers, and they are looking for online original content to show in this watch platform that is currently not in Australia, but it will be coming. So we can start to see that we need to be smarter about engaging with our customers. It's not enough just to post up anything and never bother to go there or look to start a conversation. Obviously then, if Facebook is wanting us to spend more time on the platform, that's where the eyeballs are. We need to be moving into the ad platform more seriously. FB ads remains one of the best ways that we can reach our customers. It's one of the cheapest ways that you can reach your customers. They're going to become more expensive. They will. But we need to be smarter about what we do. We need to be using custom audiences and retargeting those people that are already engaging with us in a custom audience. If you don't know what a custom audience is, if you haven't put your Facebook pixel in your website, you must start being smarter about the tools that Facebook gives business owners to use. It is the cheapest form of online advertising you can have, cheaper than Google AdWords and far cheaper than LinkedIn. We must skill up with FB ads. Here's a shocking stat that I nearly fell off my seat when I heard it. There are 70 million businesses that are on FB, but only 6 million of them are actively advertising. What are the rest of them doing? Too many people are just using the boost button. Please don't use the boost button. Please skill yourself and your team, or use a specialist to do proper Facebook ads. Learn about what are the right objectives for what the outcome is that you want to achieve. If you want people to go to your website, choose a traffic objective. If you want people to engage with your video, choose a video objective. If you want people to engage with your content in your post, choose the engagement objective. There are a bunch of objectives that are inside Facebook that they want us to choose, because Facebook then serves the ads up to the people that are most likely to do that activity. So the clickers, the people that are likely to read content, they'll be attracted to engagement posts. People that click through to things are likely to be responding to the traffic ones. There's a bunch of things that we need to be aware of. The other thing in terms of being smarter about our Facebook advertising is that we need to be nurturing our people. Too many people that are advertising on Facebook are going for lead generation to a cold audience. What do I mean by that? I mean that we are trying to reach out to people that have never heard of us before and get them to sign up to our list or buy our product, and then we wonder why it's not working. We should be only giving value to our cold audience, which means interest-based demographics and lookalike audiences. If you don't know what lookalike audiences are, chat to me after this event, because they are the next best people to those key custom ones who already know us in some way. So at the early stage, we should be focusing on branding and value and testimonials, what we stand for, not buy my thing, get on my list. We then want to warm up the people who've accessed that, or show to lookalike audience of some of our really tired people, the people that have bought from us in the past. And then when we want to do the sell, retarget people only, custom audiences only at the end. Because as I've mentioned, with the push to having more people advertise, because less reliance on organic reach, ads will become more expensive. So here's some ninja tips for you about Facebook advertising. Video, video, video. At the very first part of the funnel, it's a great way to reach a lot of people at the cold, who are cold in your funnels, people that have never heard of you before, people that don't know anything about you. Using video is an awesome way to get that attraction, and it'll be cheaper at that early connect phase. And then when we're warming people up through the process, we need to show them more ads. So rather than having the same ad that we might show for, say, a week to 2 weeks, we may have people going to the same place, but we have variations of the ad where we want to show them to different people within the potential audience. Messenger ads. I've just talked a lot about Messenger. Messenger ads are also cheap at this point in time. Facebook wants it to use that. It's a great way of reaching out to people and starting that conversation. And always check your numbers. Check your numbers. Make sure you're not just spending money without looking to see what's actually working. Okay, so LinkedIn. This is my third thing. It's time to rekindle the love. This old platform is coming back into fashion. Now, I am so excited because last year, if you followed me online, I said 2018 will be the year of LinkedIn. That was one of my big predictions. And I think it was when I started to see Gary Vaynerchuk doing videos inside LinkedIn. At the opening keynote, LinkedIn was mentioned as the platform for value and building connections. Guy Kawasaki says it too. It is currently his favorite social media platform. And if you are a Gary Vee fan, then you are seeing him inside LinkedIn all the time now, and he knows why it is becoming so much better than the old boring online CV that it used to be. It is not that, and you need to stop thinking that it is a CV for recruitment agencies. Now, why has it changed? Microsoft bought it, they recognise where it could go, and they've started to make changes to make that happen. People are also remembering that it is still a social network, but it is a business-to-business social network, or I've already started to mention it, it is a person-to-person marketing channel for us. We can still build engagement with actual people inside there. And this is by and large because they've introduced native video. We can now post videos from our phones that we've recorded. Live's not there yet, but it will absolutely be coming at some point this year. And if you are unable to get cut through on your other channels, this is a channel for you to look again. If you are marketing to business owners, if you are marketing to professional service people, if you have a product that anybody that is in that kind of space, then talk to them inside LinkedIn because they're there and they're listening. How do we do this? Native video, video. That is the big takeaway. We need to all start becoming more comfortable with video. And inside LinkedIn, we need to start thinking, I can do this. I can talk about a serious subject to the people in my sphere of influence. It's also an opportune time to revisit engagement inside LinkedIn. And I'm not meaning, like we're saying inside Facebook, it's not enough. I don't want you just liking something. Make long comments. Don't just get connections like they're business cards that you used to sit on some thing on your desk. Too many people just connect blindly with people inside LinkedIn and never, ever talk to them. And I don't mean message them with your sale 2 seconds after connecting. I mean going to their profile and commenting on their posts. I mean sharing people in your space, things that other people are talking about that you know is valuable to your sphere of influence. Actually show that you know your stuff in business by talking to people inside the platform. It's not enough just to like something. We need to comment. You need to not be afraid to put it out there that you actually know something about what you know. Too much, it's just been people thinking, I'm just going to just like something or browse and look. Don't be a lurker. Actually engage. The other thing for you is when you're looking to build engagement and to build your network and to start getting people to think you're the go-to person with my problem, you need to start doing longer posts inside LinkedIn. Pulse articles are no longer getting the same traction as they did before. They are still okay, but they are not getting the same traction that they had. And I think that's mainly, I'm not sure what Microsoft's going to do there and what LinkedIn's going to do there, but long form posts in your feed are very, very important. Don't encourage people to click away from the LinkedIn platform to read your article. Put that in the comments. So that's a ninja tip there. And that's the same with anything. Have the long post in the first area and put the link in the comment area so that we are focusing on the talking and the analysis. And then if people are interested, that they can click away. We don't want LinkedIn to sort of punish you that way. Hashtags are now a thing inside LinkedIn, which I think is great. Hashtags are now a thing inside everything. However, it's not like Instagram. Don't put 30 of them in there. What you need to do is maybe think 2 or 3, be relevant. Like just think about, is this a relevant hashtag? How do you know if it's relevant? Put a hashtag in, click the link and see what comes up. If nothing that's relevant to your article, then don't use that hashtag. But using hashtags is a great way for other people to find you because it's used as a content aggregation tool. Helps new people find you. It helps you find other people interested in what you're talking about. I went to a fantastic session on LinkedIn advertising. I know a lot of business-to-business people are thinking that I want to advertise to my people, especially professional services inside LinkedIn. Yes, it is. It is like it was in America because they use this gun analogy. Facebook ads or Google AdWords or those other online advertising programs, think more like they're a scattergun approach. but LinkedIn ads are more the sniper. So you don't get many people, but you get the right people. And of course, with that approach, they're going to be more expensive. They are probably the most expensive form of advertising, way more expensive than Facebook, comparable with Google AdWords, just depends on the niche and where you are as to whether they might be more expensive or less expensive. But, so this is why you need to think, you've got to have a client that's going to have a lifetime value of at least $15,000 for it to be worth your while. So if you're only a small B2B business, professional service business, and if you think about the lifetime value of your customers, in the Australian market, everything's a bit smaller. We may be able to get away with smaller lifetime value, but you need to seriously think about, if I find a new person or if I nurture a new person in and they buy my thing or they become a customer, what's it worth to me? Is LinkedIn ads worthwhile? Just something to think about. When you think about uploading video, make sure, be real, use your phone, have a real setting. It's not the place for flashy corporate style YouTube videos or things like that. That's not the look that you're going for. On the same token, don't be really boring, really staged. Some people just can't talk in public. And if you recognize that, but you realize that your message is good, then you need to get some training in presentation and engage. It's all about engagement. Okay. I am racing through because I'm looking at the time. I knew I was going to go over time. It's just going to cut into some questions, but I will do my best. Live video and more. Okay, here's the thing. By 2020, over 80% of all content that we consume online will be via video. End of story. Obviously, you want people to be consuming your video. So we need to get over ourselves. We need to get organized. We need to get practice and we need to get going. I personally believe that anybody can do live video. That is my personal belief, because I believe that if you are in business and you are dealing with the public, so let's just say that you are talking to people on a phone about what you do. You might be seeing people in the street. You might be seeing people in your store. You might be seeing people in your office. It doesn't matter. You talk to people, and you don't talk to people in the real world with a bag over your head, worried that you can't speak. You don't practice and practice and practice how you just naturally talk to people when they come into your office. Of course, you might be prepared. You prep for a meeting and you might, have some things that you want to highlight to them, but you don't necessarily have it scripted all out. You aren't second guessing yourself. You are just talking. So we need to fight through those fears that we have and think about getting live. And we want to be live wherever we can, everywhere. Facebook Live, Instagram Live. I hope that this time next year I'm saying LinkedIn Live. And the beauty of when we go live is that we can then repurpose that video in other places. So we can, currently, and I do this often, I might record a Facebook Live and then I will upload it into LinkedIn. I might put it at YouTube. I might put it in my blog. I might repurpose it to use in my ads somewhere. So it's a fantastic way for us to take advantage of video tools without having to buy a whole paraphernalia of gear. And that's the thing. So before I get into some of the gear that you might need and some help around that, what are you filming? Storytelling is a huge theme from social media marketing world. In fact, thinking about, going more deeply into who our ideal customers are. We all know who our ideal customers are. And too often I think we just think, they're women, they're this age, they're single, they're married, they live here, they do whatever. We need to try and think more deeply about them. We need to think about their goals and their values, what moves the digit for them to do things. And often that might involve asking them questions, surveying them, or listening to some of our clients that we love working with, because that's going to give us ideas for what we might film. But the big trend that we're going to see is to think about episodic videos. So the storytelling, we might have a series of chapters. So we might do a video series on something. So these episodic videos I actually find from my own experience with content marketing that it helps to make content marketing flow when you're thinking about the process of something. I find that if I think, right, I'm going to talk about Facebook ads and I'm going to make it a series of blog posts over, the 3 key elements of how you build out a campaign. I find once I make that decision, then the content and the words will flow naturally into those 3 areas. If we think like that, if we bring storytelling arcs into video, you will find that that also helps with how you can churn them out. But it's called Netflixing of your business videos. So this is going to be a big thing for us to think about and for you to monitor in some of the bigger players in your space, because they will be doing it too. So now, the tech, the gear, the fear. One of the best presentations of the 3 days was Amy Porterfield, and she is a fantastic online marketer. There was a picture of me with her. She is one of my idols. She used to work for Tony Robbins. She's now got an amazing business that she built from nothing herself. Now, she had to get over her fear of going live in a presentation. She had to learn all the tech and all the gear, but just to address this fear component. Your desire to share your information with your audience. If you know the value, and I think from listening to me talk and get excited about video, you must know the value and the power of building connections and where that can take potential customers when you do video. That must outweigh or outplay your fear of going live, okay? So for some of us, particularly women, we may be hung up on how old we are, how fat we are, how many wrinkles we might have. For men, I don't know. Men seem to take it easier. They have a bit much of a I don't really care approach, and it is yay you. We have to try and let go of what society sort of says to us about what is a perfect looking body, because that's not what people actually are interested in. There's a reason that we all love reality TV. As much as they try and have contrived outcomes, the best reality TV, if you remember back to, say, MasterChef, the first episode, it naturally just developed on the screen, and then they went down the rabbit hole because they conflicted everything, and then they brought it back to realness, real people, not perfect people, just real people. Whatever size and shape and age we are, we can do live video. We can practice though. And you can practice inside Facebook stories and Instagram stories. And you can practice there because it's still very, very small. Unless you tell everybody about it, nobody really knows. So Facebook Live is a great place to practice. If you genuinely think it's terrible, just delete it. So let's look at some tools. You need a phone, really. You can do Facebook Live, Instagram Live. You can record video for LinkedIn on your phone. And in fact, if you do nothing else, just get some good lighting, talk clearly into your phone, done and dusted. You can also do desktop for Facebook Live, but you do need to make sure you've got fast connection, that you've got at least 16 gig on your computer and you've got a fast processor. So internet speed, you need to make sure everything is turned off. Right now I'm running this webinar. I've got nothing else on my computer except for what I'm running here. Even me attached to the NBN Great Big Power Digital Marketing Office. Turn things off. Okay. You can, as you want to get more fancy, you might want to have things that appear down the bottom of your pages or have your logo, they're called lower thirds. You can have eCam for Mac, BeLive TV. It's much better now. Apparently in Australia, it was crap about 2 years ago. You can have lighting tools, but basically good lighting, natural lighting that's coming into you, or a light ring. If as a woman you want to sort of, get a bit of a filter over you, light rings are excellent for that. You can practice going live, having webinars, Zoom, Webinar Ninja, Webinar Jam, where you might be talking from a presentation like this, so you don't see your face, but people hear your voice, so they know it's you. So some of the other things that you can do after your video is repurpose the content as a blog post, as some social media posts. There's a whole range of things. It helps to speed up content marketing, actually, if you do good video. You can just get it transcribed. You can upload it to YouTube. You can put the transcription on your website as a blog post. There's a couple of links. Repurpose.io, that's an actual application that you have a monthly fee for. Rev.com is another one worth looking at to transcribe and repurpose your video in other ways. Okay, so now I'm coming to the pointy end, which is really the overarching thinking. I don't have much content here, so we're nearly at the end. Other than, because these statements, I think, need us all to reflect on what the hell we're doing as digital marketers in social media. And that is how to be human at scale. This is by far and away the biggest takeaway from social media marketing world. It was coming through loud and strong, in addition with the messenger marketing and the bots, which is quite an unusual juxtaposition. But we cannot forget that everything we do in social media is actually about interacting with people. And we have to get smarter at how we can do that, utilizing tools that make our lives easier, but don't replace us in the equation. You can't replace the person from the social media. So us digital immigrants, the older parts of the audience at social media marketing world, we got it immediately. There was a keynote on the very first night that was so powerful from Brian Solis. And everyone in that, and he was talking about the early days, the glory days, and he was showing all these pictures of some digital marketing celebrities that I know when they were much younger, and it was hysterical looking at them when they were young and green and excited by the possibility for human connection online. So us digital immigrants, we remember marketing before Facebook, BF. We remember it, BF. But a lot of digital natives don't remember. But they are using social media in ways that we are not. They already get the power of the private messaging. They are already using the messenger apps. We need to come with them now because they can teach us about how we have those private conversations and build connections using the messenger tools. We, as the digital immigrants, for us older ones, we remember what it was like to rely on marketing conversations, on word of mouth, on networking with individuals. And this is where we get to our P2P marketing, where we get to marketing to individuals. Why the power of, I know this person, you should have a chat to them. How we used to share the knowledge around. We need to do the same thing like that online, but we just make it like that's why LinkedIn is becoming the platform. Think about the conversations you might have on phones and at networking sessions or at the pub with your peers. You might talk to them about such and such. Well, then go on LinkedIn and say, I was having this great conversation with someone and they were looking for an expert in XYZ. I recommended you at whoever it is. Tag them, let other people see. Share the love is a bandied about phrase that people use but don't mean it. So where is the social media future heading? I've got 2 links that are coming up on the next slide that I really recommend that you read and that you listen. One is a podcast and one is a post. They are from Mark Schaefer, who's a social futurist. And if you may have read some of his books, he's written books on content marketing, on personal branding, just really on how we need to get our shit together in the social media space and move our businesses forward. And these are some of the key points for me that he's talking about in these posts and in that article. AI, what's happening in the world of artificial intelligence. And it's not going to be this, the robots are coming and all our jobs are gone. It'll be a gradual thing. It will be in helping us do things. That's what's coming. And we shouldn't be thinking that it's going to be this quantum shift immediately. It's going to be slow and incremental. And we make mistakes if we go too automated too early. We need to always remember conversational marketing and private messaging with people. There is definitely the wrong marketing skill set out there in businesses. I'm sorry, I see it all the time. If you are still approaching digital marketing with an old school marketing focus and theming, you are doing it all wrong and you'll continue to do it wrong. You need to drop that. You need to start reshaping what you know about good writing, but think about social media marketing tools in that. I just see too many people that want to broadcast messages without having conversations. I see people that want to splash big budgets into Facebook advertising the wrong way, just going cold like they were on television, rather than going personal and niching and retargeting and using lookalike audiences. You are doing it wrong, and you need to upskill. We need to think about the power of the individual consumer. We don't trust brands, and all these next points are all flowing together. We don't trust brands anymore. We want to go back to personal branding, the person. I don't trust that brand, but I trust you, even though it's why we might buy things ultimately from Telstra, even though we hate Telstra. But this person that I am dealing with, I trust you. I see it in my own business, that people may have an individual within their organization that they trust over others. And as a business owner, well, we're going to give that client to you because you've built the rapport. We need to have that online. You need to not be frightened to put your personal stamp on what you say online. Personal branding and being a brand as you is here. You need to start. You can't hide behind your desk, your phone, your office. You need to start getting online and getting out there, because other people are going to come along and they are going to swallow up your space. Because we are not in your office, we are online and we are on our phone. And that is why you need to be there. It is all about the person to person. It is all about that now. Not the big brands, not the big broadcast. We need to be thinking person to person. And I'll leave you with this final note. Regulation of social media channels is coming. For too long, we've just let them. And I think this is in part because governments at the top had no idea about anything to do with social media. If I had $1 for every time someone would say to me, oh, well, I don't want Facebook for my business because I don't use it. Well, I don't care, because your customers are using it. It is not about you. So that's in the same way for the regulation of social media channels. It is coming. I don't know what, I don't know how. Mark Schaefer has more thoughts around this, but it's absolutely coming. We only need to look at the fallout from the Trump election. That is one of the big drivers in what Facebook is looking at. How have we been so exposed to bots and trolls, fake news, how we've been manipulated, how we've been manipulated to like and post the wrong kind of stuff and not have real conversations. We as digital marketers have a responsibility to do the right thing, I think, and encourage people to actually be human and be human at scale. Well, that's it. I am sorry, that was just so much stuff, well over time. I'm here to answer any questions. If you've got questions, please just post them anywhere at all. If you want, in the chat, in the open questions area, there will be a replay of this. Thanks, Carly. There will be a replay, a recording of this. I've recorded it all, so you will get access to the recording. How long is too long for video? Awesome. If you're doing stories, you need to think 30 seconds, 15 seconds. If you're doing video, Facebook Live, 10 minutes. Like if you're in your page, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, unless you're treating it as a proper training session, something like this, which is a big webinar, goes for a lot longer. So that's the 10 minutes, David. Try not to be too long, but be planned so that, you go in and you have a short, sharp, and then you might open it up for questions and then it might keep going. Thanks, Dina. Yes, it is something that I'm very passionate about. So I know that came out like, woo. Now, Sarah's asked an excellent question. Hi, Leanne, you said to post less often. How often to post on Facebook? Okay, so this is the thing. I used to encourage people to post multiple times a day. Don't do that. I'm not encouraging you to post multiple times a day unless you have something valid to say. If something just breaks, if you've got a new drop of clothing, if something's just happened with, the RBA, if something's happened and you need to talk, then you need to, feel free to have that conversation. If you were thinking, oh, I need to tell such and such, do it. If that's your gut response, go with your gut and do it. But in terms of what you schedule, your regular content scheduling, I think pull it back. I'm thinking on my page, I'm not even posting there every day. I'm going to, pull back what I post on my Facebook page, but I'm going to step up the lives. So I might pull back from posting content, which was, 5-6 times, like at least every day, and sometimes multiple times a day. I'm going to pull back that to about 3. I've got a blog post that I'll still share with the link in the comments, and then I'll also have where I'm inviting conversation around the blog post and share the link so that people can read it. And I'll have a historical post where I'm talking about referring to something that I had in the past, as well as also looking to introduce and increase the amount of live videos that I do, especially if I go back to David's question. If you keep them short, it's not a big thing. You can get a lot said in 10 minutes, and it's about building that community. And I think that if you focus on community building, then you are going to get the outcomes that you're after, and you'll start to build that audience that you can then retarget to when you want to sell your offers inside Facebook marketing. I'm just going to see, is there any more questions? Jenny said it's a bit scary. It can seem a bit scary, especially if we are digital immigrants. It can seem scary. But I think the mistake I was making was thinking that we were all going to go down this AI path. The big no-no, marketers will ruin chatbots if they go all out and just try and stuff our feeds. I just think thanks, Mercy. I just think that if we wreck chatbots, then we're ruining a powerful opportunity for us to build one-on-one connections with our customers. So don't go hard on them. Just be smart and be valuable. Give value content. Sarah's asked, should we use hashtags on Facebook? Yes, not many. 2, tops 2. Hashtags are good. They're always good to use because they're content aggregators. So I'm finding that people are seeing them more, and we help educate our own customers if we start to use them. But just like anytime you're using hashtags, if you're not using them in Instagram, or if you're using them wrong inside Instagram, people often put a hashtag on something which is, they think it's just a bunch of words that they make up. So the thing that I suggest you do is go into Instagram, type in a hashtag that you think, and see how many people use it. If you're not seeing something that has like 10,000 people posting, then it's a pretty useless hashtag to use. The same thing inside Facebook. There'll be less because there's less people currently hashtagging things inside Facebook, but just see that it's something that people are actually talking about that's in sync with your article before you use it, but maybe just 2. So I hope that helps with that, Sarah. How would the usage of synonyms for tag or share be received by Facebook? I just think stop using anything that's asking you to tag people. Just be really, really careful of it. They very specifically said, don't entice others. Don't entice others, just experiment yourself. But I will, Nathan, actually reach out to some of the Facebook gurus that I can now say I've met and get a definitive answer on that for you. So stay tuned. I'll post that on my page. And okay, so LinkedIn. All right. No, LinkedIn's actually having longer posts. So it's not an article. So we're not going to put a blog post into LinkedIn, but it's going to be, when I say longer posts, I mean 3 or 4 paragraphs. No, it's probably not like IG. And actually, I'll just let you know straight off the bat how long your LinkedIn post can be, how many characters. It can be as long as Instagram, easy. It's absolutely can be as long as Instagram. I have often done things like that. So don't think that you can't. There has been some people that haven't had native video and that was dragging out. So it could very well be that you can't post a long form post inside LinkedIn yet because your app on your phone needs to be upgraded. So just make sure that you've got the latest version of the app. But I'm just finding out for you the exact length. It may be that I'll post that as well as, synonyms for tag and share. Words to be mindful of from Facebook, and exacular buffer, not letting those go through to LinkedIn, says it's too long. Okay, well, that could be the issue. It could be that buffer hasn't gotten on board with it. But if I'm just going to check my posts here inside, inside here. So Facebook allows 2,000 characters, LinkedIn allows 1,300 characters. These are the links that you need to read if you want to dive more deeply into the human aspect of this. Really awesome reading. Fantastic. Mark Schaefer, Future of Social Media Marketing, and also a podcast to listen to. So I'm not sure about Buffer. I know that Sendable sends them up to 1,300 characters. So that's the maximum, 1,300 characters. Facebook has 2,000 characters, and Instagram has, doesn't say, Instagram's quite long. So I think 1,300 characters is probably long enough. If you can't, then that's where I'd be saying you can read more about this over on my website. I would have that then being in the comments and linking people over there. So yeah, so if that's what Buffer's doing, maybe it's time to look at another platform that pushes out. Okay, so I'm just going to check any other questions. I'll just go back here, make sure I haven't missed anybody. Okay, so answered that. David, Jenny, Mercy got that. Tim and Tracy. Oh, Lucy. Okay, video editing software be useful. All right. Camtasia. Camtasia is easy to use. I use it because I'm very familiar with a little tool that I use called Snagit. So Snagit is the application that I use to do a lot of my image editing, and I can also do video editing with that. If you have a Mac, iMovie. Most of the videos in my online training program, I have edited them myself using iMovie. So yes, they are not, I'm not a movie camera person. You know, they wouldn't win an Academy Award for video editing. But in terms of what I need to do that looks professional, they're professional, and I just learned to do that myself. But Camtasia allows you to do that. So either of those two programs, iMovie or Camtasia, would be what I would recommend. Premiere Pro, don't go there. It's a bit like, you know, unless you are super keen, you know, unless that is your job to be a videographer, I wouldn't recommend that you go to those big serious tools. They are for videographers, in the same way that Photoshop is for graphic designers, not for people that are playing around and need to do a professional job, but not, you know, the intricacies that you need with Photoshop. So I hope that helps Lucy there. I answered Sarah about hashtags. Brooke, do you know if there's any websites where we can practice uploading online videos to ensure they are of good qualities before we go live on Facebook? No, because I just think if you want to, you should just practice. Doing things on your desktop. Doing a Facebook Live on your desktop, or doing a live into stories or in Instagram or Facebook. I'm not aware of a website that lets you upload them. But one of the things that you might find helpful is if you get the Camtasia tool or any tool that allows you to record yourself talking into a webcam. There's a little tool called Loomly that might be helpful. So yeah, Loomly, and I'll put this in a follow-up to everyone. I find Loomly's quite useful. You can record yourself talking. Camtasia, you could record yourself talking and then you could just play it back, talking into your webcam, so you could see. I wouldn't worry too much about the quality. If you're talking quality of the video, quality from your phone, that quality of your phone, if it's a recent phone, that video quality will be perfectly fine, perfectly acceptable. Just make sure that you've got good lighting and there's not too much distracting noise around you. Actually, I'll just bring myself back. Yeah, here I am, so you can see me if anybody's still online. So yeah, that's what I would do now. But yeah, it's just, to be honest, just do it and keep it short. And if you really hate it, delete it. If you don't publicize Facebook Live and you just go live, not a lot of people are going to see it. And as soon as you delete it, well, then it's gone from Facebook. So let's have a look down here. I answered Ali about LinkedIn. I answered Mercy about LinkedIn. LinkedIn comments for LinkedIn. What about Facebook? Post linking comments as well, even if it is to your own website. Yes. I do believe it just makes it easier if we have the same consistency of how we do things. But all the platforms want to keep you within the platform. They don't want you to go elsewhere unless it's part of advertising. Hey, go over here. That's part of an ad. That's their bread and butter. That's what they want us to do. They want us to advertise on the platform. But the days of Facebook being a free content distribution network are gone. It's not going to happen. They are wanting to control the information. They are wanting us to be in their platform. So that's the thing. So if you want to, talk about your post and then say in the comments, to get the link here. Otherwise, post the post, which is what I tend to do. I post the post to my latest blog post, and then I do an ad for it. So I want to do page engagement. Rather than just boosting it, I always just do page engagement. So I just do a little ad and I just advertise my blog post to my network. And that way, Facebook doesn't have a problem with it then. And I think it's worth spending the $5 to $10 to maybe have that seen by my specific audience of followers inside there, as well as some people that you might pick up along the way. Okay, so is it good to do short personal inbox messages rather than blanket ads to each person directly on LinkedIn with a link to your website for more details? Here's the thing with LinkedIn personal messages. I love them, but I don't love it where we've connected and the very first thing you send me is here's my thing that you might find useful. No, I'm not interested in here's your thing that I might find useful. I'm interested in you, and it's going to be a while before I'm going to want you to send me anything. In fact, I may never want you to send me anything in an inbox. I want you to actually be active inside LinkedIn. I want you to share freely inside LinkedIn. I should be seeing your posts. I should be seeing you comment on things. So I'm thinking that there is a place for sending messages inside LinkedIn, absolutely. But if you haven't been actively nurturing people and starting to have a conversation and having conversations with them in LinkedIn, that's not about sending whatever to them, then don't expect that people are going to respond to that. I know that's been a very traditional mindset of LinkedIn in the past, which is why people have hated it and why people continue to hate people that become connections and then go buy my thing straight after in your inbox. You're going to get unfollowed en masse if you do that. That is not how it is done. So it's a balance. We've got to nurture them. We've got to build communications. Okay, so Yandilla Musters and Growing Not-for-Profit Kids Fizz Foundation. Awesome, David. That'd be great. Please get in contact with me. That would be awesome. Keradwin, what's a lookalike audience? Awesome, Sarah. What's a lookalike audience? This will probably be my last question because we've gone 10 minutes overdue. A lookalike audience is, first of all, you need to know what a custom audience is. A custom audience is an audience of people that have followed, gone to your website, have engaged with your Facebook page in any way, shape or form, engaged with your Instagram account in any way, shape or form, watched a video inside Facebook that you've uploaded, on your email marketing list, visited your website, visited a certain page of your website, have some kind of interaction with you, have been on any kind of list. Maybe they're people that you've interacted with inside LinkedIn. You can export all that information out and you can import it into Facebook and you can find those people online. What about your database of your customer CRM? You can download all of that and upload it into Facebook. That is a custom audience. A lookalike audience is a group of people that Facebook finds that have similar interests and act in the same way or as close as possible to the people that are in your custom audiences. So every time I upload a list of people that I love, like let's just say people that might have bought my course, what I then do is I make a lookalike audience of people that are almost as good as the people that have bought my course. So if you've bought my Facebook advertising course, then I want to target people that are similar to the people that have bought my Facebook advertising course, because it's likely that you people are going to be interested in Facebook advertising too. It's just that you haven't come across me yet. That's what a lookalike audience is. And they are some of the best audiences that you can use, apart from the people that are closest to you, that are custom audiences. Saved audiences, so interest-based audiences, people that might live in a town, be a certain age, interested in a certain sport, they are the coldest audiences that you will have. And too many marketers make the mistake of going hard, targeting them, and then we're saying Facebook ads don't work. It's because you're spending all your money trying to sell something to people that don't know about you and don't care about you. You've got to warm people up. You've got to think more smartly about utilizing lookalike audiences to build up a custom audience. They're the people that are going to buy from you. That's all I have time for today. It has been fabulous. I've got to go into a meeting very soon. Yes, I've been passionate and excited and all sorts of things. And don't apologize for that. It was a great course. Who knows what I'm going to be talking about next year, but both Brendan and I will be heading to San Diego next year because it is such a fantastic event. Talk soon. Bye for now.